Chairman.
Mr. Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Gates, Admiral Mullen, thank you for your service, and above all, thanks to our troops. I have more of a statement than a question, because my remarks have to deal more with the congressional role in this process. I don't think it's been mentioned so far here today that the Senate, the U.S. Senate, on March 1st, unanimously called for a no-fly zone over Libya. The House did not have a similar action, but that's at least some sign of congressional involvement early on in this process. It's no secret that this is a period of domestic tension in this country politically, but it makes me yearn for the days when politics stopped at the water's edge and we could gather behind the Commander-in-Chief. There's been a lot of discussion about the War Powers Act. From some members here, they're still unfamiliar with it. As you pointed out, Mr. Secretary, every single president, Democrat or Republican, has questioned the constitutionality of that act. If we had wanted to repair it, we've had years to do so. But Congress has not done that. There's a school of thought in the law that although the War Powers Act was intended to limit presidential power, it has in fact expanded it. Yet we in Congress have not amended that act since 1973. Many people have wondered about the lack of adequate notice to this body. Well, the leadership in each party was informed promptly after the President's decision. So perhaps we should question our own contact with our own party leadership. But that has not been raised, at least so far in this hearing. I also think that you can see the President's age, Democrat or Republican. For almost every year in office, they age about 10 years, it seems like. The gray hair, the white hair quickly comes. They carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. They are privy to many things that we cannot discuss here in open hearing. And I'm all for Congress. We are an equal branch. But sometimes we do not take our responsibilities equally seriously with the chief executive of the land. And that worries me, because Congress should be more than a Congress of backseat drivers, more than a Congress of armchair generals. You gentlemen have conducted your responsibilities ably and well under difficult circumstances. I worry that we in this body have not. So I'm hopeful that on a going forward basis we can examine some of these things. Not having declared a war since World War II. Vietnam was not a war. Korea was not a war. So many of these other countries. We need to get our act together in this body. And this is not a criticism of you. You gentlemen in the executive branch are doing ably and well. We need to get our act together in the legislative branch. So thank you for your service. Above all, thanks to our troops. But I think in the interest of